You know, it's amazing, ladies and gentlemen, how things can happen. I just did a post called We Are Having an International Disaster. And the amazing thing about it is that before then, I had planned to, this new year, to say that I'd spent 40 years or something advocating a beautiful life. And what I mean beautiful is that your wants and your needs and your desires were being addressed. And it was the consensus of the people that allowed that to happen. And it was going to happen, and that meant that you would live in peace and be prosperous and free. And that was going to be great. I spent so much time talking about that, right? But it didn't catch on. It didn't catch on at all. And I don't care what I did, it just didn't catch on. So I failed in my communication. And so I was just going to say that I'd gotten to this age right now, you know. And the truth of the matter is that tomorrow, I'm going to pre-op. No, well, I'm going to go through a process from pre-op. I'm going to have a surgery. And I was thinking that to go into a surgery like this and feeling good, really feeling good about life that you have played a role in. When I'm just saying what it makes me feel like. I know I've been talking stuff. I've been really saying, look, you can have it. You're being had by this. You're being had by that. I don't care what they're saying. As long as people are suffering, you're playing a game. A game is being played. And I haven't bitten my tongue when it comes down to that. And, it still hadn't caught on. So I was thinking, I really can't do anything more than what I've done. I've left some recordings, so the people can, if they want to, can check it out. Maybe there'll come a time that something I've said really mattered. And so going into a surgery like this and, just not coming back could be one of the most wonderful things. Because what? It was all good. It's all good. When you've done all you can and you're not mad with anybody because you know what it's going to take. It's not going to take anybody talking about how good things can be. It's not going to take, when somebody said, Jesus said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You can read the scriptures. You can do just talking about anything like that is not going to change anything out in the ghetto. You got to do something. And so my just not being able to do something because it takes us to do something. It takes somebody to bring a message and try to help spread it. You do that. And then if you get caught on, then you start doing stuff, But if it doesn't, then you say, hey, the storms are coming. And I really don't want to be in that. Now, what do I mean when I say the storms are coming? I mean that I'm getting old, you're going to get old. And while we've been playing games with life, we would not have addressed healthcare systems. That when you get the pain and suffering, that the wonderful doctors who are in this profession because they love it have come up with the cures and for sicknesses and diseases that would allow us to say, thank God Almighty, But we played around and we didn't get a chance to do that. So rather than having to go through hollering and screaming, cancer, the different things that you can get, rather than going through that, waiting to die, you're gonna do it anyway. So if you can't do anymore, then just go. But that's a decision that is made by the individual. That I could see myself making that decision. And why do I say that? I say that because that's the way it happens. But as I was getting ready to come to you and say this to you that I just said, I had something caught my attention again and made me aware of this international disaster that we're going through. The people, the floods. I mean, you know, you can just see cities and towns wiped out. Just wiped out. You think about you. Just imagine if you were just enjoying your life normally and all of a sudden something happened and it just blew away everything. Maybe it was a hurricane. Maybe it was a tornado. It just blew. And what was isn't no more. And whether you got insurance isn't enough. And if you do, what about the whole community if it's destroyed? Look at the pain and suffering that everybody got to go through. It has to be rebuilt, right? People who didn't get killed still got to live. Where is the funds going to come from? Will the insurance be able to rebuild this? Where is it all going to come from? And how long is it going to take? You know, but if you're prepared because you're doing things in a righteous kind of way, you're prepared for the situation where it might try to grab you by surprise. It didn't catch you by surprise because you cared about one another, you looked out for one another, and you thought about what the nature was telling you as you were living from day to day, and you dealt with it. That's what I'm talking about. And so I said, whoa, all of a sudden, it like I got a reason to not want to go to any place. Like I got a reason to want to stay here. It caught me on, you know, you're walking someplace, maybe you got your head down, you're feeling, you know what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden, something comes to you. And just, you say, hey, look at it. We can prevent it from happening to us. Because we don't know where it's going to go. But we do know, based upon what we've been able to see, it's gone a lot of places. And we know that if it has done that, it can come here. And we better be prepared. So what we do is learn from one another, those who've gone through, by not just being there trying to ask them what happened, but making sure that the reconstruction and stuff is going on to take them back wherever so they can live again. And as we're helping, we're learning. As we're learning, we're just preparing because we're working together for a common good. So that's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So I just thought I'd share that with you for whatever it means. Hey, have a good one, because if we do, we will. Bye-bye.